Welcome to Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. So glad you're with us. We are joined by another Brad Sherman, a member of the United States Congress. Sir, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I want to talk to you about the housing crisis in this region. As you know, California has the third highest foreclosure rate in the nation, behind our neighbors Nevada and Arizona. And there's a fear that the banks are going to start picking up foreclosures because they've got their books in order finally after a lot of contention over that. Talk to me about what you see on the ground.
Well, it's important to maintain valley home prices, even if you're not buying or selling a home. If you hear that the home a block away, 2 blocks away, sells for $100 grand less than you thought it would, or they still can't find a buyer, you're not going to take your spouse out to dinner unless the restaurant has golden arches in front.
Clearly. No, it can be very scary.
And that impairs the economy of the whole valley. So we need to maintain home prices. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that new buyers can get financing.
So let's talk about the financing side, because interest rates, there is good news.
Oh, yeah.
They are at historic lows.
Right.
But it still seems to be difficult to get a loan, even with great credit.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you doing? What do you see on the ground?
Well, what we're fighting against is new regulations coming out that would pretty much require a 20% down payment. Now, there may be times when a 20% down payment makes sense, but if we impose that on everybody, then a big chunk of the potential buyers have to go away.
Who's suggesting that regulation?
That's coming out of the Federal Reserve. They're supposed to define, it's complicated, define a qualifying residential mortgage. And I organized over 300 of my colleagues to weigh in on this and to say you can't have a 20% requirement.
I mean, especially in a market like Los Angeles, where, you know, buying a home, $300,000 doesn't get you much, but that means you would need $60,000. That's a lot of money, Congressman.
Yeah.
You can't buy a home for $100,000 in Los Angeles like you can in other markets.
It's amazing, even before this meltdown, how inexpensive homes were in other places.
Right.
But here, even with this change, homes are expensive.
What about assistance for those that are facing foreclosure? Is there anything that the federal government has done or can do, your office has done or can do?
We've got a number of programs. People can call my office in Sherman Oaks, and we've helped a lot of folks deal with their bank and take advantage of some of the refinancing programs that are available. We've got a seminar coming up.
Yes, that's
February 18th, 9:30 in the morning at 5000 Van Nuys Boulevard.
Which is the Sherman Oaks East Valley Adult Center, is that right?
That's right.
And tell me what we can learn at this seminar, because I'm sure there are people watching right now that are facing foreclosure or in foreclosure and are fearful because they read the same newspapers I do, which say the banks are going to start foreclosing.
We're going to have foreclosure avoidance experts there, and not the ones that are there to try to defraud people.
Of course.
But we're also going to be dealing with another group of folks who are able to make their payments, but they want to refinance at today's lower rates.
Of course.
But who's got a lot of equity in their home? A lot of people had equity in their home in 2007 and isn't there anymore. There's a new program for those who have low equity or no equity, or they're underwater, to be able to get today's rates. Because right now, Fannie and Freddie is on the hook for the loan anyway.
Right.
So Fannie and Freddie comes in and they say, well, as long as we're on the hook, we might as well, we'll help you refinance.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. The seminar, February 18th at the Sherman Oaks East Valley Adult Center. I'm Brad Pomerance. Back to HLN.